Libby Offutt is the ex-girlfriend of a former American football player, Randy Moss. He represented many teams during his tenure in the National Football League, NFL. Libby is a name derived from the Hebrew Elisheba. It has two meanings: God is my oath, or my heart. Many of you might be big fans of high school love stories. Well, hate to break it to you, not all of them are that pretty. There is no relationship that exists forever, it always changes. But for some, it leaves forever deep ties. The name Libby Offutt comes into mind when many of you think about such stories. Libby was famed for her disturbing romance that made it to the media's eyes numerous times. Libby is a woman who loved a man while he had nothing and helped him succeed. She is a mother of 5 children and a drug addict who has struggled and adopted a healthier lifestyle. Libby Offutt sure has a heck of a story to tell. Libby was born on November 1, 1975. She opened her eyes in the St. Albans, Virginia, United States, as a daughter of Father Frank Montgomery Offutt and Mother Margaret Offutt. Libby's father worked for different organizations. He served as chairman of the Board of Christian Education and also worked as a deacon. He was also a basketball coach for a short period of time. Frank also coached the girls' basketball team, which must have helped Libby catch on with sports at an early age. Libby has 2 siblings, Angela and Jennifer Offutt. She went to St. Albans High School in West Virginia along with her siblings. 9. After some time, Libby was transferred to DuPont High School, where she completed her graduation. That is where she first met and fell in love with her boyfriend. Libby was a vibrant student, a sports enthusiast, and got along well with friends. Though she was an all-rounder, when it came to sports, she was an excellent swimmer during her high school days. Libby is a religious person who believes in God. She is a loving mom who was born and raised in a happy Christian family. She is a fitness freak and loves to show her creativity every now and then. Being a Scorpio suits her in terms of her long and rather confusing relationship that was the limelight of the hour. She was believed to have been in a relationship during the 1990s, however, nothing was officially announced. She was in a relationship with retired American football player Randy Moss. Randy Moss is a former American football player who played in the National Football League for 14 seasons with the Minnesota Vikings, Oakland Raiders, New England Patriots, Tennessee Titans, and the San Francisco 49ers. Moss is currently working as a sports analyst. The relationship started quite early as Libby was still a high school student when she first met Randy. They were the interracial relationship gossip of the DuPont High School. The interracial relationship was still a matter of criticism by then. Libby was not just pointed out, taunted, and cornered, but was bullied and threatened because of her relationship with Randy. The case worsened when she got pregnant. She was in her senior year when she gave birth to her first child, a beautiful daughter, on March 6, 1994. She named her daughter Sydney Nicael Moss. Despite the happiness brought by the newborn, situations were not exactly in favor of Libby. Randy received the Kennedy Award for the West Virginia Football Player of the Year in the same year. He was in the prime time of his career when the baby entered his life. Libby and her parents practically raised Sydney as Randy was always on travel. Sydney was also passionate about sports. She was even appointed as assistant coach to the St. Thomas University, Florida, women's basketball team. While Libby was staying put with all the cornering she faced due to this relationship, Randy could not bear the tormenting racial comments from their colleagues. His response to one of them ended up in a fight, for which he was penalized. It was the year 1995 when, as a punishment for the use of fist, Randy spent 3 nights in jail. He got bail, but had to leave his scholarship and bid goodbye to his dream of playing football for Notre Dame Fighting Irish. He was ordered to serve the 27 days remaining punishment within the following 18 months. This was not enough to break the bond. The couple got closer and fought together in hard times. Libby supported Randy all she could, but sometimes all is not enough. This must have been hard for a young, unemployed, and lonely mother as Randy was busy in his career and travels. Libby was the one with kids at home. Time and again, her frustrations led her to drug abuse. At those hard times, her parents were the only people she could turn into. One of the controversies Libby faced was about the rumor, which said Libby was the nanny of her own kids. She had posted a picture of her wearing a ring in defense of the rumor. The argument in the court for their separation was full of controversies, where both Libby and Randy claimed that the other party was trying to part them from their children. Libby even accused Randy of cheating when she was pregnant with Siley. Though the exact reason for the separation has not been official, the controversy that was created during their official separation was a big hype in Libby's life. Soon after the breakup, Randy tied his knots with Lydia Griffith in a private ceremony in 2015. Randy has been working as a sports analyst since 2020. He appeared in Sunday NFL Countdown and Monday Night Countdown programs. Randy claimed that the burden of taking care of the abandoned children made him retire from football. However, Libby refused to accept the accusations and gave a counter-statement. According to Libby, her former boyfriend Randy was deliberately trying to keep her separated from their children. She claimed his accusations were false and didn't want a settlement. The legal issues were pretty intense, as there were physical fights. They even filed a domestic battery case. The argument was rough as Libby claimed her ex-boyfriend and his wife Lydia prohibited her from seeing her children even on Christmas. After the dust settled, Libby again became the talk of the city when her son made a big hit of his career. She was also in the spotlight as a mother of the winning team's best player after the Tigers' victory against Clemson in the 2020 CFP Championship. The 45-year-old blonde has a total of 5 children with Randy. Her first child is a daughter and the second child is a son, Sydney Nikhil Moss and Thaddeus Moss. They have an age difference of about 4 years. The third child is a boy called Montego, born on June 28, 2002. Libby gave birth to her fourth child, a daughter named Senali Moss, born 2 years after the birth of Tego. After Senali, she gave birth to another daughter, Siley. Sydney followed her grandfather's passion for basketball. Sydney was dubbed as a WBCA Player of the Year twice. Thaddeus followed his father's career in football. Both of them are renowned sportspersons. Libby's son Thaddeus has represented the LSU Tigers football program from the team called Fighting Tigers. Thaddeus started playing for Boone County High School, Lincoln, R1 High, St. Albans High School, NC State Wolfpack, and Victory Christian Center High School. Since 2017, he has been playing for Louisiana State University. Thaddeus's team won the title of national championship in 2020. Senali also plays basketball and has become a YouTuber recently. Tego and Siley also play football. The kids have a good relationship with their maternal grandma and dad. Despite their long-term relationship and so much sharing, Libby and Randy had their fair shares of troubles and disturbances in their relationship. The headlines about their fight came into the spotlight in 1996 as the domestic battery. She was attacked by spilling hot water. Her father Frank, who was suffering from a rare degenerative disorder called pure autonomic failure for more than a decade. He passed away in post-surgery OPD on November 28, 2012. This news was also hard for Libby. Before their breakup, Libby made the news highlights when she was accused of spending around $4 million on drugs. Randy accused her of having abandoned the children under the influence of drugs. Libby was struggling for a while, but she has been clean since 2007. Her mother was supportive during the process, which is why she came forward during the trials and testified in favor of her daughter. Being a mother of 5 itself is more than a job. However, Libby worked as a waitress at the Hooters. She also worked as a cashier at a 7-Eleven and as a sales associate at Home Goods. At present, she is spending quality time with her kids and is not engaged in any formal job, as far as we know. Libby is said to have a net worth of approximately $100,000. In her posts, she remembers to be grateful for the beautiful life she has. Libby is a dog person. She loves trying healthy food and enjoys the beauty of nature, especially filming different forms of the sky. She loves to show off her DIYs and kids more than often on her Instagram page. She loves Hello Kitty, just like any teenage girl of the 90s. Libby is active on her 2 Instagram accounts. She also has a Facebook account with 955 followers. She proudly posts her kids' pictures along with the picture of her ex-boyfriend on her social media accounts. Besides their bitter breakup, their relationship still seems nice. If anything, Libby posts positive things about the father of her children. She is having quality time with her kids and is at peace with her past.